Pretty nice ticket, isn't it? I'm going to be at the game tomorrow. I bought my ticket a few months ago, and I'm looking forward to being in the house when we play Baylor. It's because of my job, I was able to pay for my ticket to the game, and I'm looking forward to it. It's a great experience when you go to DKR. The I know we should be able to move the ball most of the night against Baylor's defense if we don't self-destruct and beat ourselves with offensive penalties. I think we will be all right. But the question is, our defense needs to be able to get a few stops so we can hold a lead. We got to be able to jump. We got to jump on Baylor early, and we got to get some distance, because if you give Baylor even one whiff, they'll take the whole thing. Their offense is just their offense is one of the best that we've seen. Their offense what might not be as prolific as Oklahoma, but that's not saying much because their offense is pretty scary. And they've got this quarterback in Charlie Brewer. He's a sophomore. He played for Lake Travis, and on the other side for Texas, we've got Sam Ellinger. He's been he's a he's a quarterback from Westlake. I actually got to see these two quarterbacks play when they played against my high school at Hayes over about a few years back, and they had their way that night. And now that Sam Ellinger's my quarterback, I'm glad to have him, because if he can stay healthy, he gives our offense a dual threat dimension. He's been a lot smarter with the football the last few games. He hasn't forced it. He needs to keep this up. If he can stay healthy, he gives our offense a running dimension. We need a mobile quarterback, because that's really the thing that we have not had since McCoy left. We I think he could be the best quarterback we've had since McCoy, but we're going to see. Once we turn him loose and let him run, as well as throw the ball and open up the offense against Oklahoma, he played probably his best game. He played his best game as a Longhorn against Oklahoma. I think our I think that our defense, I think Baylor's defense might not be as good as Oklahoma's, but Oklahoma's defense was terrible. They were so bad that they fired Mike Stoops, and but Baylor, they've got a good coach in Matt Rule. That's Rhule, and their offense is pretty scary. Their wide receivers, they can dink and dunk on you, or they can throw the long bomb. We've got to be able to control the ball and keep Baylor's offense on the sideline, because their offense is pretty scary, and we've got to be able to keep the Bears in long yardage situations, and we've got to make Charlie Brewer uncomfortable and put pressure on him, and We got to keep them in third and long and second and long. We got to force him to make mistakes that will give our offense the ball, and we got to take advantage of every mistake that Baylor makes because okay. All right. Anyway, we were we were playing our defense. Defense is I know Oklahoma's offense is just Kyler Murray is probably the best quarterback we've faced all season. And he was so elusive. It was like he had gel on his legs because we had a hard time with him, and Oklahoma's receivers were so fast. That Brown guy he burned us deep. We got to be able to cover these Baylor receivers and play our assignments and not we got to make Baylor work with long fields and make them go the distance and not give them short fields with turnovers. And we got to create short fields for ourselves and make them give us extra possessions and make Baylor pay. We got to make Baylor keep them on their heels with our offense, and we got to get a few stops defensively. I think it's going to be close. I think we're going to win by probably 14 to 21 14 to 21 points is probably my best bet. But we'll see. Looking forward to being at the game tomorrow. Hook 'em horns and Texas fight. Bring it on, Baylor. We're coming. We're going bear hunting. We're bringing all our guns, including our fans and our star players. We're coming for you, Baylor.